Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my next haul video. This is going to be a themed haul. In, I guess, celebration or whatever for the new X-Men lineup, the ResurreXion lineup that's hitting next week, and it actually started this past Wednesday with X-Men Prime. I'm going to show off some books that represent the cast, if you will, the characters, the heroes, the anti-heroes that are starring in those books for the ResurreXion release. There's going to be several releases. Real quick, we had X-Men Prime this past Wednesday. Then you're going to have X-Men Gold, which is a team of basically kind of a back to basics team of the X-Men, and it's going to be led by Kitty Pryde. You've got Kitty Pryde, Old Man Logan, Storm, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Rachel Gray, who's now going to go by the name Prestige, and that may be it. I think it's like maybe 6 people, 7, somewhere around there, but kind of a back to basics team. A lot of basically the same team that was in around during that mid '80s run of X-Men minus Rogue. Then there's going to be X-Men Blue, which is the time displaced X-Men, the original team, led by Jean Grey, which is also, I think they're being mentored by Magneto, who is believed to be dead by everyone else. And you've got all new Wolverine that's going to continue, Old Man Logan, which is going to continue. You've got the original Iceman, is going to have his own book. Jean Grey, the young Jean Grey, she's going to have her own book. You've got Generation X, which is going to, I believe, be led by Jubilee. And several other, it's not the Generation X team from the 90s, but Jubilee's in it. I think Magic is going to be a part of the book. You've also got Weapon X. It's a group of mutants that are trying to stop the Weapon X program. I believe it's which is goal is to wipe out mutants. Old Man Logan's also in that. Sabretooth, Warpath, Lady Deathstrike, and that may be it. There may be one more. I'm drawing a blank, but I think that's it. And Domino. Also, later in the summer, I think around June or July, we're going to have Astonishing X-Men. Old Man Logan's in it, so he's all over the place. You've got Old Man Logan, Rogue is back, Gambit's back, Bishop's back, Phantom X is in it, Mystique is in it, Archangel is in it, and I want to say there was one, Psylocke. Yes, Psylocke is in it. So I think I'm looking forward to that book the most. So what I'm going to do is just show a few books here that kind of represent those characters in this new ResurreXion line. And here we go. This is Giant Size X-Men #1, the Marvel Milestone Edition reprint. This is the closest thing I have to Giant Size X-Men. This is basically your team that's going to be in X-Men Gold. Other than Wolverine, you've got Old Man Logan, there's Colossus, Storm, and Nightcrawler is going to be in the X-Men Gold team. Of course, Thunderbird's dead, and Cyclops is dead as well. And Old Man Logan, Wolverine #66, the first appearance of Old Man Logan. And he's all over the new ResurreXion line. And I hope we don't get burnt out on him. I do enjoy his character, though. Love that character. Uncanny X-Men 129. This is the first appearance of Kitty Pryde, who is going to lead X-Men Gold. This is also, as far as this book goes, is what's key about it, is not only the first appearance of Kitty Pryde, it's the first appearance of Emma Frost, first appearance of the Hellfire Club, Sebastian Shaw, I believe Donald Pierce. If it wasn't this issue, it may be the next issue. Also, it started off the Dark Phoenix saga. So, a very important book and one of my favorites that I own. Uncanny X-Men 141. This is, of course, everyone knows this is the Days of Future Past Part 1. This is also the first appearance of Rachel Gray, who was known as Phoenix. She's going to be a part of X-Men Gold with, like I said earlier, the new name of Prestige. So this is her first appearance. And I think that basically covers the X-Men Gold team. So now we'll move to X-Men, well, I would say X-Men Blue, but yeah, X-Men Blue. Well, first off, this is the X-Men #1 Marvel Milestone Edition reprint. Closest thing I have to X-Men #1 for now. Probably, we'll own it one day, but not at the moment. This is the first appearance of all the X-Men, the original team, Magneto. And the reason I'm showing this one is because Iceman is going to have his own book. This is his first ongoing series. He's had a couple limited series. So we'll see how that goes. That's probably the one I'm looking forward to the least, but I'm still going to check it out. And Magneto, of course, is going to have a role in the X-Men Blue comic book. And speaking of the original team, the Time Displaced team, this all new X-Men #1 by Brian Michael Bendis, excuse me, and this is the first appearance of that displaced team. Beast goes into the past, brings this team to the future. If you read the newest all new X-Men 19, the number 19, which is the final issue that came out Wednesday, you kind of know some things. I don't want to spoil anything, but about young Beast, how he finally figured out how to travel back into the past. But if you check out that book, you'll kind of see what's going on with them. But this is the team for X-Men Blue, and this is basically their first appearance. Now on to the stars of the Weapon X book. First off, we've got Alpha Flight number 33, Lady Deathstrike. She had a role in the X-Men Prime that came out Wednesday, so she's probably going to be a big part of this book. So, basically she's been a villain and a hated foe of Wolverine for years. So it ought to be interesting to see how these guys get along with Lady Deathstrike, which we also got Sabretooth in the crew. I don't have his first appearance, Iron Fist number 14, and I don't have a Marvel Milestone edition of it, which I know there is one out there. I will have that book one day. It's on my want list, my wish list. I just don't have it at the moment. But Sabretooth is also going to be a part of that story. Another character in Weapon X will be Warpath, and this is his first appearance in New Mutants number 16. I believe this was also the first appearance of the Hellions. They are basically the New Mutants of the bad New Mutants, if you will, but led by Emma Frost. And Warpath was in this. I don't think he went by the name Warpath just yet. He might have, I didn't, but of course he doesn't have that his normal look that everyone's used to in this. And the last member, besides Old Man Logan, which we've covered, is Domino. She's the last member of Weapon X. And so I'm going to show X-Force number 8 and X-Force number 11. These are considered her first appearance. At one time, New Mutants 98 was considered her first appearance. Then that turned out that was Copycat as Domino. Which, I mean, honestly, the first time, I mean, let's just say, for example, that they did a Spider-Man story in this day, and they said that the original Spider-Man had been a squirrel the whole time, and the new Spider-Man just now appeared. So that whole time, Amazing Fantasy number 15 wasn't the first appearance of Peter Parker and Spider-Man. It was the first appearance of a squirrel playing Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Would those books go down? Would those books no longer be considered the first appearance of Spider-Man, and now, you know, a new book that is out today be considered that? I know that's really stretching it, but that's kind of the same thing with this, because New Mutants 98 was the original first appearance of Domino, and later on it revealed that it was another mutant playing the part of Domino, and so you can kind of do that with any character. I mean, really, they kind of did that with Spider-Man back with Ben Reilly and the whole Clone Saga, where it was believed that Ben Reilly was the original Peter Parker, which was crazy, and I don't even want to get into all that. But this is basically, I think, this is a flashback story. So this would be Domino's first appearance in a flashback. I don't know necessarily what to call that a cameo. And then as far as X-Force number 11, Domino's first appearance as herself in continuity, like in the current timeline. So either one of these books you can kind of say is her first appearance. And then if you really want to be technical, you can go New Mutants 98. I have that book, but I just didn't want to pull it out too. But anyways, that's the Domino story. So Cable's going to have his own book. I think I skipped over that a while ago. His book is one I'm looking forward to, probably second to the most besides Astonishing X-Men. And that's because he is traveling through time, I think, to stop someone. And he is he is going to be, like, I think the first issue they said he's going to be back in the Old West. I love Western movies, and I love Cable, and I think that's going to be awesome. I hope that there's a story arc that lasts more than one issue with Cable in the West. That's got to be amazing. I can't wait to see that. I've been ready for Cable to be back with his own title, and this is, of course, his first appearance, New Mutants number 87. You can go back to New Mutants 86 and say that was his first appearance. It was a cameo. He's, right there at the last panel, kind of like X Factor 5 is for Apocalypse. I've loved Cable since I first started reading him when I was a kid in X-Force, and this is a book that I recently acquired probably about 2 years ago when I started collecting again. And I got this book before the Deadpool 2 hype even started, so I got it rather at a decent price. I paid $65 for it. I'm so glad to own this book, and one of my favorite characters of all time, Cable. Now, as far, I told you about Generation X. Basically, I believe Jubilee's leading the team. This is her first appearance on Uncanny X-Men 244. Generation X, besides Iceman and Jean Grey, those two I'm looking forward to probably the least. I'd say Generation X probably the next one. As far as the team aspect, that's the one I'm looking forward to the least, so I'll probably end up enjoying it a lot more than some of the others, just because I don't have a lot of high expectations for it. There's so many characters in that new book that I don't even know. This is Jubilee's first appearance, and then Magic, I believe, is supposed to have a role in that Generation X, and I really enjoy Magic and have liked her character for quite a while. This is her first appearance, New Mutants number 14, as Magic. Alright, now to the Astonishing X-Men, and got a few books here to show off. Miss Marvel number 16. This is the first cameo appearance of Mystique. I don't have Miss Marvel 18, which is her first full appearance, but I did get this one pretty recently, within the last few months, and didn't pay very much for it. I think I paid $6 for it, or maybe even less than that. I'd like to have number 18, and I feel like that's a pretty easy goal to make, so I'll have that one. But Mystique is going to be in the Astonishing X-Men. Another character that's going to be in Astonishing X-Men is Phantom X. This is his first appearance. It's X-Men 128. Just recently acquired this book, if you've been watching my videos at my first comic convention. The X-Men 129 is the first cover appearance of Phantom X, which is an awesome cover, which I have too. I should have brought it out, but I didn't. He's upside down hanging with kind of his arms in an X with the gun. It's a really awesome cover. But that's Phantom X's first appearance. Very glad that Bishop's back. He's also part of the team. This is his first appearance on Uncanny X-Men 282. You could say it's a cameo because he doesn't show up to the very end, but I guess since he's on the cover, you consider his first appearance. 283, you may say his first full appearance in the book. Very glad to see that Bishop is back. X Factor number 24, first appearance of Archangel. Also going to be in the Astonishing X-Men book. Archangel, one of my favorite characters, and I mean, this is just, the Astonishing X-Men book has so many of my favorite X-Men characters. That's probably why I'm looking forward to it the most. And they also seem like this book is going to be the most badass of all of them, just because it's a lot. I mean, you've already seen Mystique, Phantom X, Bishop, Archangel here, and it gets even better with Psylocke. New Mutants Annual number 2, first American appearance of Betsy Braddock, Psylocke. She's also in it. I don't want to spoil things, but I don't think it's really that big a deal. I've already said Magneto's believed to be dead. In the last issue of Uncanny X-Men, Psylocke killed Magneto, or, killed him, and walked away thinking he was dead. And Elixir, I believe that's his name. I don't know. One of the mutant healers comes in with Exodus, and heals Magneto, brings him back to life. But Psylocke in this book too. You've got another character returning back to the X-Men, Rogue. Her first appearance, Avengers Annual number 10. She's in it, and with her leaving, I guess that Uncanny Avengers book finally concluding, you've got Rogue back, and you can't have an X-Men team with Rogue and not have Gambit. Uncanny X-Men 266, first appearance of Gambit. So glad that he's back involved in the team. This issue here, my wife bought me last year as a surprise, so it was nice. The fool that she bought it from on eBay, she paid a good bit of money for it, and he sent it in a bag, no board, in an envelope. That was it. Mailed it in an envelope, just bags, no backing board, no cardboard to sandwich to protect it, and it still came in good shape. I mean, nothing wrong with it. It's amazing. It was even in the mailbox. It wasn't left at the door, and it still came in looking like this. That was a miracle. That was a miracle in comics, comic book deliveries. I don't know if she ever gave that guy a poor review. If this book had came in trashed, of course, we'd have made a bigger deal about it, but it didn't. So just by the sheer will of the comic gods, it got here in good condition and no problems with it. If that guy's selling books for, she paid $75. That guy's selling books for that high of a price, and he's sent them like that, I'm sure he's got plenty of terrible reviews, and I don't even know if anyone's probably buying from him. Anyways, I digress from the whole team. I just want to tell a story about that. I took this to my convention, that convention I went to a couple weeks ago. Chris Claremont got it signed by Mr. Claremont there. One of my favorite books to own. Astonishing X-Men, looking forward to it the most out of all the releases, besides looking forward to that, and Cable I think the most. Weapon X looks like it's going to be awesome. X-Men Gold, can't wait for that. Got Back to Basics X-Men team. Old Man Logan, All New Wolverine still continuing with their numbering. Glad to see that. X-Men Blue should be okay. I enjoyed all new X-Men, so X-Men Blue should kind of pick up kind of in that same tradition. Generation X, not really looking forward to it, but I'll probably end up enjoying it more than some of the others. Iceman and Jean Grey, gonna check them out. I don't know how long I'll keep getting them. I like to try to get all the X-Men titles, but if they're terrible, I can't justify it. But can't wait for this Wednesday. X-Men Gold comes out every 2 weeks. X-Men Blue comes out every 2 weeks. And super excited. It's a great time to be an X-Men fan. And sound off in the comments if you what you're thinking is your favorite Resurrection book coming out, what you believe, what you're looking forward to the most. Subscribe, like, and send out, share my videos to some of your friends, and And let's get the word out that the X-Men's back, baby. We'll see you next time.